Welcome to a ranking video, a ranking of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. I'm going to rank all the films from the first movie through the 9th movie. The tiers are Chainsaw Gold, Pretty Damn Awesome, Good, Decent, Meh, Not Into It, and Garbage. And then at the end, we'll stack them up and I'll go through them as my least to best, my least favorite to my most favorite films, that is. I don't think I really hate any of the movies here. There's ones that I dislike more than the others. There's some that I really dislike, but overall, I think I like every movie in the franchise. It's a weird thing, but yeah, again, I'm rambling, so let's jump in here. Let's start with the original 1974 film, which is obviously going directly into Chainsaw Gold. It's the original, it's the scariest, it's the most atmospheric, it's the grit, the rawest, the most raw, the grittiest. There's everything unsettling you can possibly think of to explain why this movie is so scary, makes this movie so scary. Like, it's all of those things. So this movie needs no explanation of why it's in Chainsaw Gold. Neither does my second movie, Part 2, 1986 Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, is also Chainsaw Gold. Are you kidding me? It's the only worthy successor to the original as far as I'm concerned, as far as that original continuity. I like some of the other films, the other requels, but there's no denying that Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, albeit in tonally different than the first film, is absolutely Chainsaw Gold. There's just no getting around that. Next up, we have Leatherface, which is Part 3. That's going to go into the good section. I mean, it's a fun film. Nowhere near as good as the first two films, but a fun ride. A lot of production problems. You guys know the whole story behind that stuff. But definitely doesn't deserve any of the hate that I know it gets from a lot of groups. And I'm glad that it's sort of horror audiences are warming up to it more now than they ever had before. So yeah, Leatherface, definitely a good entry. Not the best, not the worst for sure. Next up, we have the fourth movie, Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. Which, God, it's not garbage. I'm not going to be that harsh. It's not a Troll 2 kind of thing. It's not that at all. I am simply not into it. I'm not a fan of the film. I never have been. It's not warmed up to me really at all. A little bit compared to the 90s, a little bit. But I'm just, God, there's too much fucking screaming in that movie, and all the screams are annoying. All the characters annoy the crap out of me. I don't like Leatherface. I don't like the ending. The Illuminati fucking shit. I'm just like, come on, man. Again, I'm not shitting on you if you like this movie. A lot of people love this movie. It's definitely the weirdest movie, and I applaud Kim Henkel for, dropping that much acid to make a movie of this caliber, but I'm just not into it. So yeah, that's where that movie lives. Next up, we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 2003 reboot, which is definitely pretty damn awesome. Almost Chainsaw Gold, but pretty damn awesome. I think that's respectable. As is its 2006 prequel, The Beginning, pretty damn awesome. Both of those films, the reboot or the remake and the prequel, are almost Chainsaw Gold. I mean, they're right there, but they're just not on that tier if you compare them to the first and second original films. Fantastic fucking movies, though. Fantastic movies. The cast was great. The acting was great. The cinematography was fantastic in both films. Yeah, the family, the whole, this is what a remake should be. Like, they took the elements of the first movie. Nothing was really copied. Stuff was changed just enough. I mean, it's just, these movies are fantastic. They live on an island by themselves. Because you're never really like, oh, that's the remake of the original. You're like, oh, this is just the 2003 version. And the 2006 prequel. Fantastic fucking movies. Pretty damn awesome for sure. Next up, we have the infamously debated Texas Chainsaw 3D, or as I like to call it, Texas Chainsaw, which is its actual name. And I'm going to put that in decent. It's a decent movie. I enjoy this movie. I think it's pretty good. I like it. It works really well as a requel. I know the producers screwed up the dates and stuff on the tombstones, and it's really 40 years later, palpably, but the story is supposed to only be 20 years later. So either you have to say that Heather's in her 40s or that the original movie took place in 1993 versus 1973. So it's screwed up either way. But those screw-ups aside, I think it works really well as a direct sequel. Really well. Leatherface, the 2017 prequel, is going into the decent as well. I do enjoy that film. I don't enjoy it as much as Texas Chainsaw 3D, but I do enjoy it. It's a really weird prequel. I think the 2006 prequel was far superior to that movie in almost every way. But Leatherface is a fun ride. I enjoy. It's good for a watch, definitely, for sure. Good for a watch, and well acted. Cinematography is great. Set pieces were good. It just didn't really feel like a Texas Chainsaw movie, and the cop out and the gag is just whatever. But cool lineage to Texas Chainsaw 3D. It's cool to see that same world explored, 50 years earlier, whatever it is. So that's cool. But yeah, definitely decent. Last but not least is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. I'm not a huge fan of the film. It was worth seeing once. Most of the characters annoyed the fuck out of me, but not as annoying as Texas Chainsaw and The Next Generation. I thought it was a little bit more well-rounded than that film. Leatherface was at least scary in this film. I didn't like the mask, but at least they tried to make him scary. As much as crazy as Robert Jacks was in Next Generation and seemed like a really lovable guy, cool guy in real life, Leatherface, as seen in 2022, was actually trying to be scary. So in that regard, I mean, it's just better acted, a little bit better special effects, a little bit too much CGI blood, I think, here and there. But I'm going to go with meh for 2022. So that's where the rankings go as far as this chart is concerned. But let's go ahead and let's stack them up. At number 9, Next Generation. Number 8, 2022. Number 7, Leatherface. Number 6, Texas Chainsaw 3D. Number 5, Leatherface, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Number 4, Texas Chainsaw The Beginning. Number 3, The Texas Chainsaw Reboot. Number 2, the original Part 2 from 1986. And of course, number 1, the original. And there you have it, folks, the TobattoVision's official ranking of the films so far. Hope you liked it.